So the last thing I watched yesterday, I caught up on two Shirô Toyoda films, neither of which I think are on DVD. I'm trying to catch up on the Japanese cinema, especially the Japanese cinema that's not on DVD. So the first one is called Gan or Wild Geese. It's from 1953. It's an hour and 40 minutes long, and it stars Hideko Takamine as a divorced woman who she got divorced because the man she married was already married. But of course, this is her fault, even though he tricked her. She's trying to um, support her elderly father, and so she becomes the mistress of what she thinks is a kimono shop owner. But what turns out is a money lender that the matchmaker owed money to and traded her to get her debts released. The rest of the film follows her as she is shunned by the community, as she is shunned by the man's wife, as her father continues to say, it's not that bad, and what do you want me to do? Go back to the street selling candy? And basically, it follows her strength in finding joys in an awful situation. She finds a student that she can help support. She just tries to find joy in life in an impossible situation and keeps going. And it's Hideko Takamine, so her performance is very layered and nuanced and emotionally rich because she is one of the great actresses of all time. Beautiful, sad, heartbreaking film. I followed this by probably the favorite thing I watched all day yesterday. Also not on DVD. This is Shozo, a cat and two women. It's based on a book by Yunihiro Tanizaki. Tanizaki is one of my favorite authors. I've not read this particular book, but he is a fantastic sort of mid-century. I think he was writing from like the teens through the 50s author. He's amazing. This movie is 2 hours and like 20 minutes long or something, but it's worth its runtime. And it is exactly as it sounds. It's about Shozo, a man who lives with his mother, who raised him as a single mom, and she's very much embraced post-war, westernization of Japan stuff, Western clothing, etc. They run a little shop. They have a wife that they basically treat like a slave. Her name is well, it's not on here, but Shinako, I think, and she's played by Azuzu Yamada. She cannot stand the way her husband and his mother treats her, but also she can't handle the fact that Shozu loves his cat, Lily, more than her. So she packs up and leaves. Meanwhile, he was having an affair with a woman named Jukuku, who is also maybe his cousin, but also his mom and his mom's brother had been planning for them to marry her because she has run away several times, and so she's kind of a broken woman, but also she's rich, and so that way they help each other by getting her a husband and him some money. So after the divorce, they get married, but then and she's very Western, also wears sunglasses and Western cut clothing and does her hair and all kinds of stuff. She's a bit wild, but she does really love him. However, she eventually gets jealous of the cat because the first wife plants the seed of this jealousy. And meanwhile, Shozu is like the most useless fuckboy ever. And honestly, the only love he should have is a cat. And but this cat is an amazingly filmed cat, like one of the best um, movie cats I've ever seen, and also clearly written by someone who loved cats because his description and behavior towards this cat is like any cat owner would be like, I recognize that. So obviously shenanigans ensue as he discovers what his mother's done. Both the women try to contend with the fact that um, they don't actually hate each other, and they're not really jealous of the cat. They just don't like this dude. And the cat has to deal with the fact that it's stuck with all of these selfish, awful people. Um, it's hilarious and very different in tone from Wild Geese. It's surprising it's from the same director just 2 years later. Just a fun, ridiculous comedy about how hard relationships are and how much solace anyone can take in the love of a good cat. So I recommend watching these. They're not on DVD. This is your only way to watch them. Check them out.